technology evangelist has a major role with respect to not only the branding and marketing, but also the advocating the use of technology, making the awareness among the masses, not only to the internal employees but to the external uh, stakeholders too. So I heavily promote the use of technologies such as Internet of Things, cybersecurity, cloud, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and going beyond actually in terms of deep learning also. Because the new technology is just shaping up nowadays. The digital pillars have been a slight change as compared to earlier decades, and most important, all the go-to-market strategies are heavily relying on not only the time to deliver, the quality, the services, and also the customer satisfaction with respect to all these metrics. Apart from that, uh, most importantly, how much it is adding value to the customers or your client or engagement. So time is important, quality is important, service is important, and around all that, security of those applications or services or the products you design and develop, that is also important nowadays. So these are the digital pillars for, mostly we talk in digital transformation seminars on this actually, but it's all the same. Mostly I advise the fintech payment processing landscape sector, and apart from that, some verticals into telecom, retail industry, and the healthcare also, because nowadays the Internet of Things and digital transformation is across all that, and I have got an exposure and clients not only in the fintech. Major is the fintech and payment processing. However, it goes beyond to the healthcare, retail, and telecom. The strategic planning on initiatives, the governance, risk, and compliance, and beyond that, the planning and execution of system integration with respect to those technologies. I advise across horizontal all functions, except the legal one actually. So everything is included. The BU is included. The product teams are included. The project management team is included. The testers and developers are included, and the security teams are also. With respect to the experience which I carry working with the various CIOs, the most important thing which I can summarize is, every CIO technology has a technology roadmap with respect to company, organization, vision, split into the pyramid of strategic, tactical, and objectives. So the problem the CIO faces is not only the budgeting part of it, but the sometimes business cases also on convincing the investors and stakeholders for this three parameters. Mostly the strategic, tactical parts are key challenge, because the operational is all visible, and leader, senior executive leadership doesn't want to hear the operational stuff, but they are more interested in terms of return on investment, the kind of scalar and modular, vertical and horizontal scaling a technology or a solution or a service we're bringing. That's important, and I start focusing from the ground. I use the bottom-up approach. Normally, top-down approach fails over here because if you look at from the top view, there are certain issues which can be ignored by the CIO, and mostly it fails with respect to creating a business case from a top-down approach. So we have to go using the way of bottom-up estimation. My experience on interacting with the chief information security officers within our industry, both locally and globally. The most important thing, again, a CISO faces nowadays is a challenge, like he or she is relying on a particular vendor. Now, vendor will promise you out of the box solution, and no vendor is perfect in the cybersecurity domain, and that is the key challenge actually, because the CISO is heavily reliant on vendors in case of in-house teams are not having that much skilled capability because of shortage of what we call capex or opex, and apart from that, due to niche skills in the availability of niche skills in the market also. So when I start working with CISOs, I mostly ask the question beyond the budget. I specifically target the business requirements and the technology roadmap. The linking of business objectives to technology solution, and that way it helps the chief information security officers in terms of re-looking at their strategies, going back to the drawing board and whiteboard, and charting out the new organizational or change management which they can do with respect to not only the people but process and also as well as technology. Very highly acceptable nowadays. I think the last 5 to 7 years, that lean, agile, Scrum, and Kanban has heavily moved out not only of the auto and manufacturing or engineering sector, but has come across to the IT world also. Gone are the days when there was a use of waterfall model. People were just stuck with respect to project management initiatives or project plans, and in case of dependencies which arises in between, they were just stuck actually, and the whole project failed. But with the help of Agile, Lean, Kanban, and Scrum, this has not only speed up the go-to-marketing strategies for any companies for their products and services, it has also helped in terms of refined qualities and clearly identifying the roadblocks. And apart from that, taking not only the corrective but preventive actions going forward. So it has helped largely not only the Indian industry but outside the globe also. And mostly with respect to the Indian environment, this has been like given a boost of 80-85% to the project delivery, on time, on quality, and with checks and balances. The new digital transformation which is happening during the pandemic, the companies who already provisioned the users for remote access capabilities, in terms of for laptops, mobile, data card, data connections, they are very well ahead in terms of digital delivery with respect to time, quality, and remote working of them. So it started as a work-life balance, but the companies who didn't accepted the BYOD policies and were stuck upon decision making were late in terms of deciding whether they should permit BYOD and remote working or work from home kind of things, and they didn't had policies nor they had framework. They are having a very tough time during this pandemic because they not only have to go beyond to make purchases, decision with increased prices and other stuff, but the employees and the mindset is not right. So that's a big challenge with respect to delivery for those companies. Lean organization has a quite big potential in terms of not only the flexibility which is very much required in this model, the new change which is industrial IoT or industrial automation 4.0, which is already upon. We have been talking it for a few years, and this is now the COVID has just accelerated things actually, and it has exponentially grown into reality that we are facing these challenges today. The Indian organizations have good resources, human resources, technology is at our disposal. We have few things to make, and that is called organizational change or change management, which is most important. Unless we change ourselves, unless we adapt to this, technology will survive, but it is like the human survival. It is the question of human survival now. So people may divide this question into technology versus humans. I think so both have to be adaptable and flexible, and Indian market has a huge potential to make this possible. With respect to the governance, risk and compliance, okay. Earlier there were standards and frameworks available outside the India, like Californian law came in, GDPR came in from European region, PCI, DSS, and several other laws, standards and frameworks exist for governance, risk and compliance. In India also, we also have a data security privacy bill and law. So with respect to COVID, because now this is like considered as an haven for hackers, okay? The evil people, the nation and state sponsored evil people who are behind to exploit the vulnerabilities in technologies, human exploitation by using phishing, So they are looking for targets during this lockdown because everybody is using either streaming services, VPN services, or other technologies to access their corporate network or data. And these people are heavily targeting the leadership people, the special interest group at the middle and the core level people. So there's a huge impact actually of this overall situation. So it has become very important for any organization to succeed, not only in their governance, risk, and compliance, but going beyond the people, process, and technology, and by using the good system integration, closing the loopholes on time. It has become very much important. Otherwise, any company can be exposed to the vulnerabilities, and they haven't patched it about it. It is gone actually. The reputation is just gone within seconds.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.